my valued viewers, last week's sales, straight into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Did you get that? Alright, we'll go over it again. Sorry about that, I just had to do it. I'm in a good mood today. It's Monday morning, it's beautiful. Welcome to all my valued viewers, new and old alike. Yes, even more new people. You're welcome. Right, yes, a full recap of last week's sales, what's going out today, followed by pickups. Yes, pickups. It was dry enough for long enough that I could do some serious shopping. I think you can see one of the things I got behind me. Well, you will in a second. There you are. Straight into it. First thing that sold was Trivial Pursuit. I showed you it. There's a picture. In fact, I won't hold my fingers up anymore because I'll probably do picture in picture again. It was good last week. Picture in picture. First thing that sold was Trivial Pursuit. £5.99. I make about £2.50. Next was XD Picture Card. £22.95. Not sure the exact margin for me, but it was an international sale. They paid a lot more than that. The Yamaha PSS 170 keyboard. Yeah, it was working lovely, and they were happy to pay £36.95. BT adapter 048610. The numbers mean nothing to me. As soon as I've taken them away from the phone that they originally came with, I couldn't tell you what phone they came with. But it went for £9.95. Rayman PS1. I can tell you this was for a PlayStation. Yeah, I've actually played it a number of times during testing, obviously, and it worked fine. £10.29, and I bubble wrapped it. I charged £3.50 postage there. I bubble wrapped it and put it in a box because the case was very nice indeed, and I don't like it. I've had it lots of times where the case is cracked when it comes. Manhattan Plaza DS 100 FreeSat 2420. Sony DVP SR90. This is the one that I was last week saying I held out for more money, and they eventually paid. I held out for £17.50 and they eventually paid £17 plus postage though, so it's £21.20. Without the multi-region, region-free decoding, it would have been £12 or £13. So I made some more money on that. I do it with a little remote. If you haven't seen the little video, it's my highest turnover video, so it's linked in the back catalogue. iOmega zip drive 250 megabytes, MB parallel port, picture 115.99, £115.99. Had this up for 130, and then I've dropped it to 125, then I dropped it to 120, and then I dropped it to 115. I was sending off offers in 95.99. Anyway, somebody came by and bought it for full price, 115.99 plus postage, 123.99. I've had this over 2 years, and it's been on and not sold, been on, not sold, pulled off, sat in my cupboard. Anyway, I decided to put it back on. In May, I just said again, 23/05/18, sort of third week in May. So that's 9 weeks. That's not too bad. And yeah, amazing price considering how much I paid for it. Paid £3. So yeah, nice. 128 megabyte multimedia card, MMC. Tiny little card. It looks like a SD card. £6.95. Yahtzee Flash, brand new fast electronic game, and that was £16.19 delivered. £11.99 plus postage. A genuine Panasonic power supply. Said it again. Do you know, I'm just gonna. This is only number 2. I really need 4 before I start a video. £7.95 delivered. Lots of PS3 games. It wasn't actually lots of them. It was a single game from my multi-listing. Multi-listing starts with lots of PS3 games. and that sold for £7.10 with £2 extra because they wanted it first class recorded. And that was WWE SmackDown versus Raw 2011. Some of those SmackDown and WWE games are exceptionally expensive, even for PS2 or PS1. And you think, oh, it's just another sport game or a wrestling game. No, check them out when you see them at the car boots. And then I sold 8 PlayStation 3 demo magazine demo discs that were originally on the front of the official PlayStation 3 magazine. I said to you last week I sold 2, and they went in it could have been a fortnight ago, they went in a flat envelope for the price of a single envelope, which was like 85p. Well, these didn't, because there was 8 of them. There was 9 left on the listing, and somebody bought 8 of them. Maybe they already had the first demo disc that they didn't buy, and they were completing a collection. Well, they bought 8 at once, £23.60, but they got a discount, because I give a discount. They got a 15% discount, so it came to £20.06, and I'm more than happy with that. They all went in a single envelope as a large letter. I paid a little bit more because there was more weight in it, but I didn't pay a lot more. It might be another £1 or something. I can't tell you the exact figure. It was something like £2.95 instead of £1.85. And a bubble wrap envelope. Far Cry 6. This was a brand new PS5 game. Little bit of retail arbitrage. I'm not going to tell you where I got it. £13.95 delivered, but it's new. Amazon Fire Stick, which I bought last week and showed you that it had sold, £10.20. That's gone out already. Cost me £2, sold for £6 plus postage. So I didn't make a lot, but it was literally 4 or 5 photographs and the title. 50 purple pink poker chips at the £6.50 rate. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. As you know, 15p and all that. 15p to buy. After fees, I'll probably make £2.50. Duplo Lego. This was a auction I put on Sunday before last, and it sold. Sorry, Friday before last, and it sold. Yeah, Friday. At 7:29 p.m, just before all the soaps start, I think. I haven't watched TV in years. Duplo Lego bundle in a box, 120 pieces. It was a full kit minus 3 or 4 pieces. So what I did was bundle another 20 pieces in, which were not quite square ones, so that it was a bit of variety, a bit of premium on the original box. So I got £14, started at 99p, got 14, £6 postage on top, £20. Seiko. Here we go. We're going into what's going out today. First thing going out today is this one, the Concise Oxford Dictionary Thesaurus Dictionary of Synonyms. It's also got games on it. Picture. There you go. This is the Seiko ER 2500, and it's gone for £24.95 plus postage, £29.15. And that is hashtag number 7 out of the 10 I've already listed. I have some more ready to go. I thought, don't give them too much choice. So I probably put maybe 3 or 4 on, maybe 2 or 3, just to make sure that people don't have too much choice. You know, choice is, it's all very well, but people dither. So that was £29.19. Then there's this. Last week I showed you I'd sold the 4 boring rolls for £10 each. Well, £10 each including postage. These have come to, there's 6 rolls. Wisteria Laura Ashley wallpaper. £20 each plus postage. Yes. So £128 for the 6. I said to you I'd put them down to 115. It turns out I'd put them down to 120 instead of 125. I think I originally started them at, which is amazingly great. Then I sold This paperweight, quite a nice one. It's the one with the purple base that if you shine light on from underneath, it gives it a real sort of pinky purple hue. But from the top, it's just white with gold. It's nice though, isn't it? And that's gone for a very cheap price. I've been discounting things that are older. So this one went for £8.79 plus postage, £12.99. And then there's this. I've written in the title, lovely antique brass 3-legged trivet or pot stand. It's quite nice. It's pretty basic though. There's loads of them about, and so I didn't charge a fortune. This went for £8 plus postage, £12.20, which fine. I don't know what it cost me. It's £1 or £2. I think it was £2. So I didn't make a lot. And you know, I sold 2 pictures to the same lady last week, Frank Meadow Sutcliffe, and they were about £11 or £12 each plus postage. Anyway, she came back and she bought another one. This one, obviously you can't see it because it's pre-wrapped. I didn't want to damage it. There you go. Frank Meadow Sutcliffe 1865 photograph. Obviously it's a repro. It's not the real one. It's not the original. The Opal of Whitby, a 1985 reprint, framed nicely, with a little sticker on authentication on the back, just there, from the actual gallery where it was bought, which is excellent. And 11.25 plus postage, 15.45. And that's the end. It's not the end of what's going out, it's the end of last week. So last week's total, you might have seen that there's no real fluff in there. I think there's 1 or 2 things under a tenner, but when you put the postage in, it pushes it way over the tenner, which is great. It does pose the question, why isn't everything over 20 or 25, which is what I'm aiming at. So that was all the stuff from last week. I've got more stuff going out from this week, but I'll tell you the total. The total is 580.89. So that's 581. We'll call it 581. And yeah, nice. Much more in the region of where I want to be, and only 22 sales. 581 divided by 22 is 26.40. I'd like that to be in the region of 26.40 and 30 items. And that would be 30 times 26.40. 792. So there's a target for, you know, coming into Q4. It won't be long now, and I've got to concentrate on the more expensive stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Sales have slowed down, considering, but high margin stuff still available, and so high margin stuff it is. Instead of going for 400 sales a week, which is, you know, what I used to do at retail, I'm now in the 22 sales a week, and now I want to be bumping up back to, you know, not 400, but a percentage of that, rather than, you know, 2 or 3% of it. 10% would be fine. Okay, carrying on with what's going out today. We've got this week, just click it on. My laptop's down here, you know. See? It's working on battery. It's got 2.5 hours left or something. So there's only 3 things, but they're quite nice. There's a Sony Cybershot W55, which is one of the 4 cameras. No, it's not. It's not one of the 4 cameras I bought from that guy for £5. This I bought earlier in the week, last week, in the tip shop, and I paid £10 for it. Yeah, £10, no box, 1 battery, 1 charger, 1 camera. £10. I've got 46.95 and postage, 51.15, and it's going internationally, so they paid a lot more than that. Let me just have a quick squint. It's going to the US. Fair enough. Going to Vegas. Cool. Not sure exactly how much they paid on top, but it will have been a fair chunk, at least 20 quid. Which is, you know, I mean, they want my camera, that's fine. It's in really good condition, actually. These days I'm not buying cameras with big scratches across the sides, because people just don't want them. They might like that particular camera, and they might like what it does, but they'll just buy another version of that particular camera, because there's 6 to choose from on eBay, or 10, or if you're in the States and you're selling American stuff, there could be 40 choices. So why buy one with a scratch on? It just detracts the chance of selling it, and you end up selling it for less. So go around the cabinets, look at the cameras. No, that one's got a big scratch across the back, or on the screen, you know. Who wants a scratch on the screen? You're going to look at that scratch every time you see it, thinking I could have bought a better quality one. So that's my strategy with cameras. Not that you see as many as you'd like. And then there's Robert's radio picture again. 9993 white. I told you this wouldn't go for as much money. I didn't even attempt to get as much as £15, which is what I got the grey one for. What I sold the grey one for had previously. This one didn't get as much money, even though it's in just as good nick. In fact, it might be in slightly better nick. It's just got a few scratches on it. £9.49 plus postage, £13.69. I'm okay with that. Cost £3. Didn't take long to list. Oh, and something else I bought. This is the camera I bought for £1 off the same car boot where I bought the 5 digital cameras, the 4 digital cameras, 5 cameras in total. This is £1, and this is sold for £24, and postage on top. Konica C35 EFP, and it has a little built-in flash that you trigger like that. It pops up, it starts flashing, there's a little light comes on when you take your shot. It does that. That's the only bit that's electronic. The wind on is manual, the shutter's manual, the wind back is manual, obviously opening the door is manual. And there's no focus, but you can choose what speed you choose to develop your film from. And that's it. There's nothing else to do with this. You just basically point and shoot, point and click, wind on, point and click. Yeah, easy, but still 35mm film, so you get the right effect if you're going to develop it yourself, or you're into lomography and you want to use all films for the effects. You can with that. You can stop it halfway through, wind it back, take second shots on the film, all sorts of special stuff that you can't do with automatic cameras. So yeah, £24 and £4.20, and that means this week it's 117.71 pounds sterling, that is. I'm alright with that. It's only Monday morning. I've sent a load of offers out. I had good response to all the offers I sent out last Monday morning, so we'll see what's going on. So that's the whole lot. I will turn the camera off, go away, get coffee number 3, because coffee number 2 is quite cold now. You know, I've got that heater that's designed for wax. It's actually for wax pots. It's brilliant. It's just the right size for these mugs. But it's upstairs in my bedroom, where I'm doing all the listing these days. I'm still doing the photography here, but that's going to change soon. As soon as I've got... I was debating whether to get a melamine covered tabletop, or rather a piece of wood that's going to be the tabletop, or get shuttering, which I've got some over there, and put wallpaper on it with the wood effect wallpaper, so that it's nice and it's got the trendy grey and light wallpaper effect that everyone seems to use at the moment. Or get a melamine that has that on. You can get the melamine cover tops with that on already. But the point about the wallpaper is I use the wallpaper, it gets scuffed. You can scrape it off and put some more on, you know. So I think I'll just go with a cheaper. Use the MDF or something with wallpaper over it, and we'll see how it works. And if it doesn't, I can change it. Nothing's permanent. None of it is permanent. Right, I'm going to turn you off. I've waffled, and I'm going to reset, and I'll show you what I bought, because there's a lot coming up shortly.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, we're recording. I'm back. So, pickups. Now, I've got a new coffee, number 3. Hope you're enjoying the video up to now. If you are, you know what to do. I hope you're enjoying the new style of editing as well. Now, what I bought. I went to the normal 2 car boots mainly because the weather. Again, the weather was forecasted for rain. Light rain though this time, and it was forecasted for, well, overnight it rained till about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And then from there it was forecast 15% chance of light rain. Anyway, by the time I got up it was a 7% chance of light rain, so excellent. I didn't set off early, I set off about 6:30 and I got there about 7:15. And it would have normally been Walkington first weekend of the month, but they'd cancelled because they were waterlogged. Fair enough. First thing, as people were getting, still got there well before the majority of people had turned up. People have just got lazy these days. I mean, I remember it used to be bustling at 6, and now they turn up at 7 or later. And they're only selling till 12. Work ethic, innit? Work ethic. £1 was the first thing I bought for this green twine. It's, you know, cable tie wire. It's really useful. 100 metre roll for £1. Then I got this from a guy who was just unloading his car. He put it on his table. I said, how much? He said, £1. Fair enough. This is a BT Wi-Fi disc. This is very similar to the one, well, actually, it's an improvement on the one that I sold for £35 because it's got feet. And it's basically exactly the same. It's the same model and everything. It's a Wi-Fi disc, not hub. It's an extender. £1 with a power supply is very good indeed. So I made a note to come back when they'd unloaded. So I went back to the charity shop stall. There's a small charity, well, it's quite a big stall, but they don't have as much as all that. Anyway, I got this Sony Discman. It's one of the more modern ones, not the really collectible ones, but anything Sony's collectible. This is it's a bit scratched up though. You can see there's marks on it. Those aren't coming out, those marks there, and there's a bit of scratch in there, but it's all clean inside. Battery compartment's clean. It's got its extended remote. The extended remotes can sell for 15-20 quid anyway. Anyway, that was £3. I haven't tested it yet, but they're fairly reliable when they're clean like this. When they're all mucky, and I mean, scratching and a little bit of staining is not clean. When I mean clean, I mean functionally clean. All the bits that move are clean. They're not all dirty. So that was £3 with the earpieces, and they're proper branded Sony earpieces. I don't like earpieces, you know that, but I'll give them a clean with alcohol, and I'll turn the volume up and listen close. That was £3, and on the same stall I got a box of Duplo. As you saw earlier on in the video, I'd just sold a box of Duplo, a bigger box than this, for 14, so I didn't want to pay a fortune for this, so I paid £2. It had a sticker on saying wow, £5. I've ripped the bit that said the pound off. I might take the rest of that off if I can get it off. It's all nice, fairly clean Duplo. put it through the dishwasher once at least, and sell it as it is. Maybe add some more in. It's only meant to be about 45 or 50 pieces. So that was £2. The next thing was a bundle. I went back to the guy I'd bought this disc off, and he'd put loads of stuff on his stall, and most of it was like kids' toys and clothing and things like that. But I did dig out a bundle of stuff and got the right price for it too. First of all, there's a Dion. There we go. Dion single SCART low energy digital set top box. It's printed the same on both sides. See? And that was, it's all complete. It's never been used by the look of it. It's got a remote. Then there's another set top box, but this is a BT UHD 4K UHD, sorry. Freeview. It's just got digital TV inputs, but I didn't know they did 4K on digital TV Freeview, but that's what this box is. It's also got Ethernet, so maybe you get the normal TV and the HD TV, but the UHD is for when you are on the Ethernet and you can look at the other stuff and download it. With a remote. Nice. So that's part of the bundle, and the last part of the bundle was an ink 305 black and coloured, and that's Brother HP, not Brother. But it's not even out of date yet. When was the last time you bought an ink on a car boot that wasn't out of date? Yeah, March 2024. So I can sell this as brand new and in date. None of this surplus to requirements. Retail price. And the 3 items were £5. So with the hub and that, they average at £1.50 each, which is lovely. Lovely. Next. Same stall. I know. The gift that just carries on giving, you know? This thing. It's so long I can't get it in shot, even if I step back. Oh, I can just about get it in shot, stepped back there where I'm leaning over the piles of crap in the background as well. There we go. It's Yamaha. I did really well on that last Yamaha one. Just turn it on, and I can turn it on because it's got batteries in. I put my batteries in. I put my own batteries in. And the reason I put my own batteries is rechargeables, AA's. This runs on 6 AA's. Not like the other thing that needed 6 C's. It's no good, that. Let me just put the demonstration on. It should demonstrate now. There we go. So there you go. It does have a power supply with it. That sort of music is way beyond my competence. The best I can do is a scale. It's there you go. It's a long time since my piano lessons. Me and my brother used to share a half hour when we were little kids, and she was a stickler, that one. She literally beat you over the knuckles, and kid you not, with a ruler, a school ruler. Beat you over the knuckles with a wooden school ruler if you got your scales wrong. That's why we didn't like going to her, really. We used to walk. We used to walk to the piano lesson, and we'd walk back. So instead of it being half an hour, it would be, I don't know, 2 hours, which was great because it gave us time to get on our bikes, which we'd like secreted somewhere else, and cycle over to the swimming baths and swim and swim back. No, we'd cycle back in that time, and they'd say, "So how was the piano lesson?" You go, "Really good." She'd say, "But Miss Randy did phone us up and say he didn't turn up." Never mind. That's a long time under the bridge. Okay, so that was £8, and with the charger, power supply, I'm hoping for maybe the same price as I got for the last one, £36, maybe plus postage on top would be nice. Next was a Sony DVP SR170. It's my favourite. It's not really my favourite. I'd much rather have the Blu-rays. It's an easy seller, but this one's got no remote, so it only cost £1. I wouldn't pay more than that for one without a remote, because you've got to buy the remotes in. And even the pattern remotes that look like the Sonys but aren't Sony are like £6 or £7. So if you buy a remote in for one of those, and then you're trying to sell it for £11, it's no good. If you can unlock it, the problem is these SR70s, 170s don't always unlock. They're a bit hit and miss. But such is life. Then there was this little blue box. It says Winsor & Newton on it. You see that? It's basically a watercolour set. Now, this top tray isn't meant to be loose like that. It's meant to be glued in, and you can see there's glue all over the back, but it's come off. So, super glue to the rescue that I bought the other week. Super glue that back in, and it's never been used. This red here is a bit sticky and it's like loose, and I don't understand how watercolour gets sticky. You're meant to unwrap them before you use them, obviously. They're in little silver wrapping paper. These are half pan watercolours, and they do come out like that, so that you can replace them when they run out, and you can buy the same colour over and over and over. I'll put that back in like that. This is an older version, and it's got a white and black, a lot more white and black than the colours, and a brush. So I'm hoping maybe £15 on that. It cost £2. And then I got this Bluetooth earpieces. You know I say I don't like earpieces. Can you see that? Now, I'm going to make an exception for Bose. I'm going to make an exception for Bose, and I will clean them very thoroughly with alcohol, so that there's no little investigated, you know, infective little things, bugs or whatever. These cost £5, and new in the box. They're not new, these. They're used. A little bit grubby on the wire, a little bit grubby around the earpieces. Like I said, I'll give them a real good clean with some alcohol. If they're working, £60. New in the box, at least 130. So this sold. I bought these for £5. That was. I'm beginning to think it was the same guy, but I'm not certain of that, as the other stuff that was a pound a piece type of thing. Then I got one of these. Nice. He wanted a £5, but I talked him round and I got it for £3. It's got stick drift. And I said to him, look, it costs money to repair them. I do like it white. I've got a black one, but this is for an Xbox Series S X. There's an extra button. There you go. The extra button makes them worth more, basically. It's just an updated model, really. You can still use your old ones, your Xbox One ones, but obviously you don't have that extra button. Okay, and it's a different colour scheme, obviously. And then there was lights. You've been able to see them all the video, and you've been wondering when I would mention it, I'm sure. Yeah, this is a 12-metre rope, and it does all sorts of different ones. I'd hate that one. That's nice. That one is good, but one that does that all the time, I would, I don't know, have a fit or something. Anyway, yeah, that was £4. it's plug-in. It's outdoor, but you've got to leave the plug in. And there's a few meters of rubberized wire as well. You know, cable from the plug to the door. And then there's 12 meters of wire, rope, LED. And that was £4. And then the last thing I bought in was this. The last thing I bought in North Cave was this little mini fridge. It's in really good condition. And I've always liked these type of things. I've got that one with a George's Cross Tipp-Ex onto the front of it. It's not Tipp-Ex, it's paint, but it looks like it's been put on with a nail varnish brush. It's that bad. I paid £2 for it, and really it's not sellable. But this one definitely is. It's in really good condition. It's got the Sprite on. It's a Coca-Cola branded one by Coolatron. Oh, you can warm things up with it. You can warm things up. You can run it in reverse and warm things up. And it also has all the wires. It's got a little thing there. You can put up to 6 cans in it. And it's got a push down front lid with a sort of, you know, a nice handle. This costs 3 and I'm hoping for 30. I might get less than that, but you know, start as you mean to go on. So I'm going to start on 30 and see what I can get. Really nice. It's quite heavy. It's probably is 2 kilos, so it might be £6 delivery as well. Actually, it's definitely bigger than the small parcels anyway. So it's definitely going to be £6 delivery, I think. Right, I'm going to go like this, and when you get back, no, when I get back, it'll all be cleared out. I'll have put all the stuff from Hull in. So, ready? I'm back. Okay, it's all rearranged, and we'll get back to it. Now, I didn't mention what the total was in North Cave, and I will mention it now. £38, and the most expensive item was your Yamaha, which was £8. Where the power supply is, I think it might be over there. So, got to Hull, and one thing about Hull is it's full of clearance guys. They're there to get rid of their stuff. The green van man wasn't there, but never mind. He is the best at what he does, clearing, rather than getting money in. He just does it. And so I will start with the most expensive item I bought. Not the most expensive item to sell. Most expensive item I bought at the car boot in Hull was this scale X-Trick. It's all there, plus some extras, but it's all loose. It's all loose. There's maybe 2 or 3 curves missing, which I can add in actually, but it's got extra crossover curves where they've taken 2 curves out and they've swapped it with a crossover curve, so it crosses over about 4 times instead of once. The cars are both there. This car has a wing mirror missing. Bit of a disappointment really. This kit with the polystyrene insert and everything in perfect condition is 150 quid. But this is quite used and worn. I will attempt to show you what's inside, or at least a quick picture of what's inside. It's all loose, it's all rattling around, it's all pretty much worn. The cars are worn, they're missing the little bush wires. I haven't got any manual. It's missing the supports, but the tracks, as I say, there's more track in here than the actual original picture. The original picture's got a crossover, a power supply part, and then it's got 12 curves, and that's it. This has got 2 more straights, a lot more curves, but they're crossover curves where the cars cross over. It's also got a chicane. As I say, it's got both cars, both remotes, so, and a power supply. So there's plenty of money's worth there for me, £8. I'm not sure I'll sell it as a full kit because I've got issues with one of the cars, and there's no way I can find a wing mirror for one of those. I'd have to buy a new car in, and they're the expensive part. So I probably split it. I made more money splitting than selling complete sets last year, so I'll probably do the same again. So that was the most expensive thing I found. And then clearance guys. First one was this one. They're there every Sunday. Normally you go and they've got, like, you know those white tables for car boots? They've got maybe 3 deep and about 6 wide. I kid you not. And it's all full of junk. Absolute junk. But they have glassware, they have pottery, they have electricals, they have all sorts. Anyway, I found these, and unusually for them, they were shouting, which is that they don't normally, they just let people dig about looking for board games and stuff. And they were shouting, everything's under £1 on the tables. It's like, okay, £1 or less on the tables, even better. So I found these, which are, well, that's a remote control for a FreeSat Manhattan. I've recently sold some Manhattan FreeSats, and there's another one. Always handy. 3 sets of Pyrex lids. I dropped one, it bounced. I kid you not, this is how strong these are. These are JAJ old Pyrex, and yeah, I bought one of these recently for £2.50 and found out it was chipped when I unwrapped it. They taped it together, and under the tape was where the chips were. Bit dodgy that. Anyway, these are all good, all 3 sets, and they're called, it's either Sunflower or Marigold or something like that. And that's the design, and they're triangular with a lip on one side, and that fits with the triangular lid with a lip on one side. So they fit like that. And these are quite popular actually, I was surprised. But I knew from the last time I bought one, that they're quite collectible. That's the right phrase, I think. Quite collectible. And so I saw the 3, held them up with this, and he said £2. I'm like, yeah, £2. Here's your £2. So that was nice. I got, this was off a dealer I know, an SR170, the DVP SR170 from Sony with a remote. There you go. £4. Now, when I buy from a house person selling from the house, I think the most I pay is about £3.50. £3 I'm looking for. Sometimes I pay as little as £2. I just bought one earlier in the day for £1, but it didn't have a remote. So £4 to sell at 14 maybe, 13, 14 at maximum really. Mine's all commission, but it's like half a dozen photographs I've got the listing. I bought 3 figure 8s and a Braun charger. Seeing as I've done the listings for 2 different types of Braun charger last week, I just need to photograph it and change the number. And a complete set of open all outers, sealed. So the seal's got a bit, you know, shop wear, shop soiling, but it's shelf wear or shop soiling, but it's still sealed, so the discs will all be fine. And that was £3 for those 3 sets of things. So that's not too bad. Where we are, done them. Yeah, I went to this stall and bought this for 3. She wanted 5, but I bought it for 3. This one's Sony, and it's got its own figure 8 cable, and it runs on batteries as well. A couple of D cells, this one. I haven't tested the batteries, but I have tested it on the figure 8 and it works fine. Just a radio. just FM. I mean, it has other bands, but FM is the one that you can get. You know, AM, MW, LW, but FM is the one you can receive still. It's got a few little marks here and there around the grill work where the paint's been rubbed off or scratched off a little bit on the edges. But apart from that, it's really nice. Yeah, I don't know what it'll fetch, but it cost me £3. Just a second, I'm getting a bit hoarse. Oh, that's better. So that was a Sony. Yeah. So I went to one of the ultra clearance people who was shouting, everything's £1, everything's £1, and it's just boxes on the floor. You know, rescue from landfill, if you like. And I got a couple of remotes. This one's a BT remote. Should sell for 14. Anyway, I paid £1 for that. It's 14 delivered, by the way. This is a RC298501/02B. Anyway, it's there. When people need them for the free view or free SATA, whatever, BT Vision U View. There you go. That's what it says up there. When they need them, they need them. And yeah. And this one's a bit more for people who like their old stuff. Retro. Sony video remote. VCR really. Got a green dot because I've tested it already. And it's working fine. It's not even discoloured, which is really nice because a lot of them are very yellow. It's a bit dirty, but it'll clean off. And they were £1 each, and then I found something else. This hi-fi. It's just the base unit, no speakers, but this is Sony. This is a mini disc. I haven't tested it. I would like to test it and find out it works, but if I test it and find out it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. It cost £1. It's heavy, but it would sell for at least £20 because it's got mini discs in. This lights up. The mini disc goes in and out of there. There's a CD driver down here and all the buttons, so you don't need a remote. You can actually remote it. You can work it without the remote. That remote won't work it, no. And then it's got all the adapters at the back. Looks a bit discoloured at the back, but never mind. Yeah, happy to buy that for £1. Anyway, she took all my change and I found something else. And she said, oh. When I tried to pay for this with a £20 note, she's like, nah. I'm like, what do you mean? Nah, can't take a £20 note and give it change. I've already given loads of change out. So I said, well, I ain't got any else. Oh, just take it away with you. Pay me later. So I owe her £1. I only want it for the hard drive. I think these days there's a big red dot on it, or orange. For all I know, that means we tested it and it's fucked. And it wouldn't surprise me at all. Might be, oh, just realised I swore. It's not for children anyway. I did find something else, but I'm holding that back because it's my ultimate purchase. In the same stall. So next stall, or rather, next clearance stall, the one that I bought this from for £3. I was digging around in their boxes and I came across this bag because you can see I bought it. And I'm digging in it, There's all sorts of little bits and pieces in it. And I'm thinking, well, this, maybe I can get him to sell me this for £1 and this for £1 and this for £1. And he just said, how about a £5 for the whole bag? And I'm like, okay then, alright, I think I'll manage that just about. So I'll show you what I've got in the bag. And it's okay, but it's broken now and it's dirty. It could clean up. It's a nice canvas bag actually, but it's only got a handle on. So it's probably going in the bin actually. But what did it have? First of all is the obligatory BT phone, base, and charger. And handset. It's a very old phone this, it's a Conchero 1400 single. Sits like that, maybe it'll charge up. If it doesn't, it's got batteries in. If it doesn't, then I'll just sell the power supply. But if it does, I might sell the whole thing as a single thing as well. I did look it up, and the replacement handset's in good condition. Which is this isn't scratched up, it's just dirty. If the screen works, if the screen doesn't work, I can repair them now. But is it worth it? The handset sells for the same price as the base. I mean, the handset sells for the same price as the whole phone, including this. But this would sell separately, and this would sell separately. So maybe it doesn't make sense to sell the whole lot in one go. And it's never going to fetch a lot, it's a very old phone. Not when you can get a double new phone that's like got two handsets for 20 quid, BT. So, what else? A Wi-Fi hub. This is a hub 4, I think. It doesn't have the thing on the back to tell you what the password is, which... oh, it does! Sorry, it's been turned round. There. I'll flash it like that. Not that anybody's going to socially engineer whoever I sell this to. But yeah, this one says BT Hub 5. Oh, I thought it was a 4. Oh no, it's a Hub 5 Type A. I do have the power supply for this. So it might sell as is, and it might sell with the power supply. The reason I'm not showing it with the power supply is because I've got a BT Smart Hub as well. With the same power supply, it does either. And this has got its own little card for, you know, passwords and stuff as well. On the back, you can take this away, you see, and it fits in the back. It's quite clever, that. And this has got space for 4 LAN connectors, and it's Wi-Fi, obviously. And they're quite popular, this type. So those two, and the phone. Right, and there's a Canon printer power supply. This one's a AD360U, 13 volt, 1.8 amps. There you go. So that's 4 items. 5 items. HP printer power supply with a purple pink adapter. Needs a figure 8 plug. Luckily I bought a load of figure 8 plugs. And then number 6 is this one, Sony AC-L25B. This is for a camcorder. I've had plenty of these in the past and sold them. You get 15 quid for those. So that's 6 for 15 quid. Sorry, 6 for £5. And in the bottom of the bag there was half a dozen memory sticks. Let's just show you those. You know, these are horrible sticky plastic that degraded over years. 1 gig. They had a little metal clip on the outside, another gig, but makes them too long. Then there's a Kingston Data Traveller, which is 256 megabytes. This is a SanDisk Cruiser with a flip out front, 2 gigabytes, but there's no printing on it, it's very old, it's worn. Works though, I've tested all of them. And then there's a couple which were in their packaging, but the packaging was just like pop out plastic. SanDisk Cruiser 8 gigabyte, SanDisk Cruiser 8 gigabyte. These are quite useful because they're nice and small. You know, tiny little things. Anyway, all of that was a £5. There was a couple of other little minor things that I've just binned because I couldn't even work out what they were. One was for printer ink and it was like just a box to hold it. One was something else. It just went in the bin. So that was pretty good. There is something else. Oh, it's the thing I was holding back. Yeah. The thing I was holding back was from the pound geezer, and it's this. If you don't know what this is, I'll take a closer look. Can you see that? Can you see that? See that? Rode. This is a Rode Video Mic Pro with its dead kitten on. Let me just take this off, you'll see it straight away then. There you go. So this is about 100 and so quid new, maybe 65 second hand. I couldn't get it to work. I just didn't understand why it wouldn't. You can plug it into your phone, you see, and use it to record things. Couldn't understand why it didn't work. So anyway, I downloaded the PDF and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I pressed the wrong buttons. There's some switches on the back. It turns out the reason it didn't work is because it needs a 9-volt battery, which goes in the back. There. The little clip comes off. So I will be testing this shortly when I can find a 9-volt battery. I've got a couple somewhere. It's not a battery I use very often, quite honestly. Everything I use is AA's and, you know, the occasional AAA. Very occasionally a C or a D. And I do have some of those spare to test things with. Anyway, that was £1. As I said to you, the retail on them is 120 quid or something. Second hand, 65 quid, but I won't be selling it. I'll be keeping it for myself. I can record things. It should improve the video sound if I record onto a recorder rather than through the camera. Currently, there's some tiny little microphones on the top of the camera and they record my voice. But it won't be very good for something like, well, I can't use it really for a live show, which is, you know, hoping to do some live shows soon. And yeah, so that was the week's shopping. I only paid £66 in total. If you're enjoying the videos, there are some more you can watch. You don't have to stop now. I've got lots, if you haven't seen them already, of my past videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to do something like that or one of the other ones below here.